It's undeniable that Deftones has been an absolute force of a band over the past 30 years. From their eviscerating debut album in 1995, Adrenaline, all the way to their album in 2020, Ohms, giving us classics like Around the Fur and White Pony in between. A band that did not want to be involved with the nu metal movement in the late 90s. There's an enormous amount of material and legacy within the band. Now that begs the question, will there be another band like this? I don't think so. Now you may be asking, what the hell is the point of this video then? Well, relax. I believe the band I'm about to mention is going to have some similar type of legacy, and that band is Narrowhead. Narrowhead is a band that formed in Dallas, Texas in 2013. Now, Deftones' influence is evident in a bunch of up-and-coming bands nowadays, and even with some well-established bands like Loathe, Fleshwater, and Narrowhead. Now, you may be asking what makes this band so special? I think there's a bunch of components in this band that are really awesome. Their singer, Jacob Duarte, has a very familiar, instantly recognizable voice. The way he sings has a very nasally tone, and it's not annoying. It's not even a slight either. I actually think if you have a voice that's recognizable, that's great because everybody will know you, much like Chino Moreno from Deftones. Now, musically, so much to talk about with this band. Melodies and melodies on top of each other, very laid out beautifully. Deftones is an easy comparison to make when you look at the band, but I think there's other band influences within this band that make them special, and you can hear it. For example, whenever I hear the guitar riffs with this band, I instantly think of In the Meantime era Helmet. Another band I think of is the Smashing Pumpkins during their Gish era in like 1991. Now they combine these influences and tweak it, and that's what makes Narrowhead. They even do it confident as ever on their new latest album, Moments of Clarity, but we'll dive into that later. Let's talk about one of their first EPs that dropped in 2014 called Far Removed. Now this EP starts off with the song Far Removed, and you're instantly in for a ride. You're bombarded with a hypnotic riff that leads into an echo chamber of sound with the vocals. Now what I really like about this EP is you see the groundwork that will become Narrowhead in the future, but this is just the early stages. Let's move on to their first album. Satisfaction, released in 2016, then later reissued in 2020. This is the band's most popular record with their most popular song, Ashtray. There's a variety of riffs in this album, and it doesn't get stale whatsoever. They do a really good job of keeping you on your toes. You don't know what to expect next, and I think that's very exciting. You honestly enter the band's brain and you see as they go. This is a real good record that I think everyone should check out. The band's sophomore album would come out in August of 2020 after signing for Run for Cover Records. This album contains my favorite song in Night Trist. And this album has a song that I did not expect whatsoever. It's an acoustic song with a lot of reverb, but it's really intimate. And sometimes bands have songs on their albums that are different just for the sake of being different, but this has a good place in the album and it doesn't seem out of place whatsoever. I really like how they dip their toes into having different sounds, and they're still trying to figure out their sound, but they know it at the same time. They are throwing stuff at the wall hoping things stick, and they do. Let's move on 3 years later to 2023. Now this album, Moments of Clarity, on Run for Cover Records, their debut album, is phenomenal. And I know I may be gassing up this band a lot, but I'm here just to talk about music, and I honestly think this album is really, really, really good and one of the best of 2023. My reasoning for this is because they understand who they are, they understand what they want to do. The chemistry is 100% on point, and they're not shy about anything. The song Moments of Clarity has a very catchy riff powered by distortion, and I believe their songwriting got a lot better compared to their previous projects. Now, sometimes you could be annoyed by them changing sounds or whatever, but I actually think they stay on a smooth road this whole time, and they know what they want, and that's awesome. Sometimes all you need is confidence, and this band does not lack confidence whatsoever. This album actually has some of their most energetic and chaotic songs ever. Songs like Trepanation, Gearhead, Flesh and Solitude. They tap into an aggressive root inside themselves, and I think it shows immensely. Now, if you don't like aggressiveness, don't even worry, because they have some really good songs I think anyone could listen to. They have a real nice song called Breakup Song, and yeah, it's kind of a sad song. It's a breakup song, so yeah, I don't know. It's a melody-filled tune with some acoustic guitars. It honestly reminds me of something off of Siamese Dream, But sometimes, you carry your influences on your sleeves, and that's fine. Now, if you think that's all the variety they have on this album, let me stop you right there, because their closing track is completely different. The song Soft to Touch. Now, this almost has like a trip hop beat, and I did not expect that at all. It was kind of refreshing. There's a fuzz undertone going on, and then it's just wrapped all together with Jacob Duarte's voice. I mean, what more could you want? And just to wrap this up, we all know Deftones is a phenomenal live band, and that's a key component. I think Narrowhead in that same vein. I've seen them twice now. I'm going to see them for a third time in November, I believe, and I cannot wait. The first time I saw them was at Sick New World, and they completely blew my mind. I didn't expect anything, I honestly. Went because of my friends, and I loved every second of it. I was not in the front row because there was a lot of people, obviously. But the second time I saw them was in Sacramento, and I was all up and close and personal. I even got the set list, which was really, really cool. There's a lot of similarities between these two bands in Deftones and Narrowhead, and Deftones is always going to rock. I think Narrowhead's going to leave a powerful legacy, and if it's not like Deftones, that's fine. I still think they're going to be important in music history. Let's just enjoy the music all together, shall we? Okay, goodbye.